Hi everyone, welcome back to the Novel Nomad and welcome to my puzzle table again. I discovered something quite funny. Hello, that's my dog. I actually get very distracted when I do puzzles. So today we are doing snow globe. So this is such a beautiful little puzzle. I've already done it because I just kind of set it up and went, and then I forgot I actually had to speak. So I think going forward, what we're going to have to do is I'm going to have to do the puzzles and record that because I get too distracted to remember to talk to the camera. So I am going to be going through what inspired me to have a snow globe. I do only own 2 snow globes. They're not quite snowy in nature. But both of them I acquired when I was in Canada. I lived in Canada for a year and I visited many times since then. This one, I'm not sure if you can see that too well. I might have to get a plain background. Perhaps I wonder if that will work. There we go. This one, as you can see, I'll shake it up a bit. This one is actually 2 little bear cubs. They're doing a little sniff of each other, checking each other out. So because I lived in Vancouver, where there's many grizzlies. I actually didn't live in Vancouver, I lived on Vancouver Island, and this was just a memento for me. I have another one, it's huge, and it was a memento of a garden, but this one is so purely Canada for me, in this tiny little memory. I thought, what a wonderful idea, because snow globes are such a beautiful moment for bringing back joy and memory and having that little moment caught in that bubble, that little globe. So I wanted to actually go through the books that I discovered when I was in Canada and the ones that really inspired me to dig deeper into Canadian fiction. Now, this one's not going to be a surprise at all, but Ellen Montgomery. I obviously knew Anne of Green Gables. I'd read her when I was very young and with my parents. And I basically wanted to discover some others, and there are so many available. It's quite hard to get Ellen Montgomery beyond Anne of Green Gables and Emily in Australia. So when I saw, obviously they did the reprint of Blue Castle, I do have a different edition to this one. It's like an indie press edition, but then I saw this one, I had to get this one as well. I loved this book. It's such a whimsical romantic story set in the early 1920s. I definitely 100% recommend if you love a classic that's also really beautiful and sweet. I definitely recommend picking it up. But yeah, so Ellen Montgomery, Canadian writer, and it was just such a joy to discover so much more of her fiction that she wrote. Next is an Indigenous author. It's a non-fiction book, and it was honestly very heavy and very revealing. So this is 7 Fallen Feathers by Tanya Talaga. I probably made that sound very Australian, but this was a mind-boggling book. It's basically about from the year 2000 to 2011, the number of youth deaths that were happening in Ontario, specifically in Thunder Bay. And it's just the fact that this is such an epidemic and this is such a huge issue of these kids coming off the reservations and they're having no support beyond what the Indigenous groups can offer them there. There's just not that follow through in Canada to actually allow. And I mean, this clearly illustrates what issues that we have in Australia as well. And it's just really sad to see that, you know, Indigenous peoples are not being recognised or their welfare is not even being maintained to the same level of standards. So this was such an amazing read. I really thoroughly recommend it if you want some amazing non-fiction. So next I was introduced to different Canadian literary prizes, and one is the Giller Prize, Scotiabank Giller Prize, and this book came out, I think it was well after it won the prize, well after I left Canada. But I've always kept an eye on it. So 5 Little Indians by Michelle Good. She's a Cree Nation woman in Saskatchewan, but she mainly lives in BC now. Yes, South Central BC she lives. And so this was such a powerful book. Really powerful. I highly recommend. It's a great fiction entry. So if you're not really hugely reading non-fiction, definitely pick up 5 Little Indians. It's it was revolutionary. I really, really loved it, but you know, boy, does it hit home sometimes. It really makes you sad, but it should galvanize people. It should really make people want to change the system. So the last one that I've picked up recently actually, and I'm very excited because I'll be reading it in 2024, it's on the list, and that is A Mind Spread Out on the Ground by Alicia Elliott. This is a memoir of Indigenous people who basically have to navigate between both worlds of white and Indigenous communities, and the issues that they come across and the sheer internal dialogue that they have to discuss. So I am very keen to read this one. It's got lots of praise and awards, and I am very excited to read this one. And I'm very excited to read more non-fiction biographies, and especially of those experiences that are well outside my wheelhouse. And I just want to be better informed. Yeah, so I had a wonderful time doing the puzzle today and thinking about all my memories of when I lived in Vancouver Island, and ever since then I've driven up the Vancouver Island as well, and just explored that beautiful part of the world. But I think Christmas is a wonderful time to reflect on memories, not just from this year, but from years in past, and things that remind you of this time of year. So what are your wonderful snow globe captured moment memories? And so I'd love to know what your captured memories are and what those snow globe moments inspire in you in the comments down below. But until tomorrow, I'll see you next time. Bye.